Now, to be fair, it was about time that a troll was added to Heroes of the Storm, and as of today, as of just a couple of hours ago, none other than the Amani warlord, none other than Zul'jin, has been added to the Nexus. Alrighty, so welcome to the Haunted Mines. Now, we are currently at level 2. Apparently, my recording didn't really go the way I had it planned, but that's okay. So, real quick, look at this stud of a man, by the way. He's absolutely beautiful. The mines will be opening up in just a little bit as well. But as you may be aware, the forest trolls are very well known for their berserking. And what that means is that they will be able to deal more damage if they get a little bit upset. And the way they get upset is by, you know, taking a bunch of damage. And I think I'm, by the way, gonna make my way towards the mines. And the way they've done that in Heroes of the Storm is as follows. So, first and foremost, I got a passive ability, and I can activate my trait as well. The passive is as follows, okay? For every... Ooh, we can't go there? Alright, yeah, no, I think we can, right? We should be alright. For every single % of my HP missing, and you can sort of keep track of that right here in the bottom left corner above my health bar, I will be attacking a little bit faster as well. So for every 1% of my HP missing, I will get an additional 1% attack speed as well. Do we really want to fight those? I'm not sure. Obviously, they are extremely sustainable. I don't really want to, you know, be all too aggressive. So that's like the first thing that we have. I'm going to go ahead and pick up another little bit of attack speed there, which is very nice. On top of that, I can activate the ability like I said. Oh, no. Sadly, I did end up falling there, which is a little bit unfortunate. But on top of that, I can activate the ability, my passive right here, to start consuming some of my own life. But in exchange, so for every basic attack I do, I will take 2% of my main life, you know, down. So that means I'm gonna get additional attack speed again. But on top of that, I will be able to deal 25% additional damage. So basically, as like Zul'jin, right, you're constantly trying to balance your damage output as well as the amount of HP that you have, which makes it super powerful and super interesting. So right here, for example, I'm dealing a stupid amount of damage. Look at that. That was insane, right? So much damage output with the combination of my abilities. Now, speaking of which, first and foremost, I got my E ability. My E ability makes it so that over the course of, I believe, 4 seconds, I will be able to take some of my own HP back. And the way I do so is just by simply standing still right here. I press the button right now. If I take damage or I move or whatever, this channeled ability will be gone. But as you may notice here, I'm going to be able to... Well, I think I'm going to have to go into the mines. But I'm going to be able to do quite a little bit. On top of that... Nice. On top of that, I can go ahead and throw around my W, which will slow people down, as well as my Q ability that makes them vulnerable and take increased damage. And you can really see the combination of those abilities is insanely powerful. And while, you know, our golem is a little bit less powerful than theirs, we have done a ton of damage here so far, and we do have a nice little level lead, which is great. Gonna go ahead and pick up, or, you know, a little bit of an XP lead, I suppose. Gonna go ahead and pick up the camp here. And I'll just try and focus on as much damage here as possible. We pick up the Recklessness as well. Recklessness basically makes it so that I do additional damage while making sure that, you know, we are at low HP. And basically, it's all about balancing the amount of HP that you have, as well as the amount of damage that you will be able to deal because of it. Now, I'm gonna be pushing quite aggressively here. I want to try and at the very least do some damage. If I can at all make that work. I do have to be careful though, because as you may have noticed, none of my talents really allow me to get out of trouble, and I don't really know exactly where all of them are located. So I'll go ahead and drink from the fountain, and I think I'm going to go ahead and head to the north here. Was pushing in quite nicely there, got a bunch of additional experience, but apparently, sadly, our Sergeant Hammer did end up falling. I'm going to try and see if I can do some damage to their big bad voodoo guy. So I'm basically constantly toggling my Berserker here, trying to do as much damage with that as possible. Now, sadly, they did just manage to even up as far as the experience goes, but so far we're doing quite well. So far we are doing quite well. Oof. Do have to be careful, but it looks like we're going to be able to get out of there. And I'm once again going to be able to regenerate a bunch of my life. Now, when I first played him, right, so this is the second game that I'm playing him right here. When I first played him in the very first match, I actually thought he would be far more flimsy as he is. Like, he deals a ton of damage. You will be able to see it right here. Like, he deals a ton of damage, and very shortly, that will start ramping up as well. He deals a significant amount of damage, in particular compared to, you know, other heroes at low amounts of HP. You constantly want to try and be as low as possible while not dying. But he's actually quite sustainable, everything considered. Like, compared to some of the other heroes in the game, he definitely doesn't die as quickly as you may expect him to be for, like, a ranged assassin. It's just that if you overextend, like, you have no real escapes other than, you know, trying to slow down the enemies using your abilities. Gonna try and make my way right now to the bottom, and they actually have been pushing quite aggressively here. They've been doing a good job. It's still even, though, as far as the levels go, so that's good. Obviously, you gotta keep in mind that my attacks go around in a circle, right? My W attack. And obviously, they return as well. Making it even more powerful. Try and get out of there, Lowko. Try and get out of there. So right now, my damage output is insane. Right now, my damage output is really high. But it comes at the risk that I could also potentially die a little bit quicker. Sadly, we did just lose that fountain. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Tazdingo here at level 10. Tazdingo makes it so that I'm gonna be invulnerable for the next 4 seconds and my health cannot be reduced to less than 1 HP. Meaning that I can get a stupid amount of additional damage out of that. You do have to keep in mind that I have to manage some mana here as well. So we always want to make sure that we are at least, you know, in a reasonable amount of mana as far as that goes. So once again, right now I'm just activating my my Berserker here. As you can see, the damage output is pretty solid without using any of my abilities. Gonna try and move over here instead. We've already got a lot of skulls. So right there, for example, I did no damage at all with my blades. You have to be careful with the aiming. Obviously, it's gonna take a little bit of time before you get the proper practice in, right? Well, there they are. There they are. Got my Tazdingo ready to go. I'm just trying to try and do as much damage here as possible. Focusing down there, Tazdingo. Very good. Or not that Tazdingo. There's Zul'jin, rather. Going the same right now. Ooh. Very good. Very, very good. And with that, we have managed to stay alive and deal a significant amount of damage during that engagement. Very nice. Now, sadly, they are pushing in the bottom lane. Their tank wasn't in here to begin with, which is fine for us. And we'll just start dealing damage here. My single target damage output is Lowko, you're an idiot. My single target damage output is insane. Like, right now, my damage output is ridiculous. Look how fast I am attacking. Obviously, you don't want to kill yourself using the Berserking. That would be unfortunate. That would not be the way to do it. But considering they were all dead and they only just now respawned, we should be able to get out of here just fine. But it's important that you don't, like, you know, go too low either. And it's a nice little balancing act. It's really, really enjoyable. Alright, let's go. So we got a massive golem here. We got level 12 versus level 11. And while we did end up losing the bottom fort, that's okay. That's okay. We can deal with that. Oof, look at that damage. That's insane, right? Alright, once again, got Berserker active. Want to try and lower my HP here on purpose, so I will be able to increase my damage output. We're constantly tapping our passive button here, or our trait rather, to try and do as much as we can. Oof. Now, obviously, making people vulnerable will make them take additional damage, so it's really important for me that I try and keep my... Actually, I can just fight underneath that. That's fine. It's really important that I try and hit my Q abilities as well. And I'll go ahead and pick up the Eye of Zul'jin. We'll just go damage. We'll just go damage. Who needs anything but damage, right? So I can activate my Tazdingo here if I want to. If I need to. Okay, got it active right now. Won't be able to die. And I think I'm going to try and get out of here in time. Very good. Very, very, very good. Now, while we did end up losing a couple of our heroes as well, I'm going to go ahead and back up here. And you can see very quickly we have overtaken the amount of damage that we are dealing here in total. Just by activating our abilities at the correct timing and making sure that we, you know, don't take any unnecessary risks. So very, very good. You guys probably want to try and get out of there. And hey, look at that. Oh, that damage is so satisfying. You just have to keep in mind, like, it splits up in a circle, right? Which makes it so risky to, like, throw forward. But that was great. That was a really good engagement for us. Now, you can pick up some talents as well for it to do, like, additional damage at its apex. Because you can see where the, you know, the things meet. But ideally, I think I'm gonna just focus on, like, an auto attack based build on Zul'jin. It seems just simply, you know, a little bit easier. And there's already enough balancing as it is. But it's very fun. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy becomes, like, just a simple, straight-up damage dealer. And he's kind of like giving me this vibe of being a hunter in World of Warcraft. For those of you unfamiliar, I did play WoW for a very long time as a hunter. And, it sort of gives me a similar vibe. Even though, you know, he's not quite a Rexar, I suppose. What? No, I pressed my R! I pressed my R ability! Oh, come on! What was that? I guess he showed his penetrating round right at the time. You could hear me press my R button. That's unfortunate. I guess I risked it a little bit too much there. Obviously, since you are going to be invulnerable for 4 seconds, and you can't be reduced for those 4 seconds, if you die right before you activate it, or before the server activates it, rather, sadly, you are gonna be going down. Now, so far though, it seems really powerful. It seems really powerful. I'm actually measuring Sergeant Hammer's damage right now, which, I mean, that should tell you a lot. That should tell you quite a little bit of, you know, how good this guy truly is. I'll try and make my way into the mines now as soon as possible as well, although I'm not quite there just yet. Look at my war bear, by the way. Look at that guy. So pretty. Alright. Almost in the mines now. Trying to move over. Oh, sadly, you already got out. We're almost level 16. Level 16 is obviously when we got some more talents. Now, by the way, as far as my talent selection go, I'm just sort of winging it. I'm not really, you know, picking any very particular talents. I'm just making sure that I'm not taking any ones that seem absolutely awful, but I'm sure there's more effective ways of playing him. Alright, time to lower my HP on purpose again. We'll pick up the ferocity, which increases the strength of my passive, or my trait rather. Look at this. So much damage output. Oh no! Alright, here we go. Whew, so much damage. Level 16. And we managed to get a huge pickup there. We managed to get a huge pickup. Woohoo! Now, that shows he has no escapes. He has no escapes whatsoever. Now, of course, by the way, I'm by no means playing this guy perfect. I do want to point that out. Like, obviously, it's going to take quite a little bit of practice to start playing this guy more efficiently. But so far, it's been really enjoyable. And I feel like I'm doing actually much better than in game number 1. In game number 1, I actually also managed to top the damage output for our team. Now, that fort is most definitely dead. I'll try and defend here instead. Okay, we managed to kill their fort, so that's great. Oh! That is so enjoyable. The combination of those two attacks is so enjoyable. Alright, I'll try and once again lower my HP just a little bit. Alright, maybe not too much. Okay. Regenerating some of my own life. Considering our keep stays alive here anyway, we should be good to go. Still pushing in with ours. And obviously this is not game over yet, right? Oh no, oh no. Whew. Nice teleportation there by Brightwing. Trying to move forward here. Trying to use my slows. That's him dead. Very good. Very good. And apparently a big bada boom cannonball just went by. Nothing too worrisome. I'll go ahead and grab myself the watchtower here. Make sure they don't have that additional vision. And so far, we're really working together quite nicely as a team here. Really nice. Let's try and grab as many of these camps as we possibly can. Does he have bribe? Nope. That's okay. Actually, does Brightwing even have still bribe? I'm not even sure. It's been a little while. Alright. Oh, here we go. Very good. So we're pushing really nicely now. We got a lot of aggression coming in, which is great. I'm gonna go ahead and run towards the bottom here. Ooh. If I could try and help them pick that up, that would be nice, but I don't think we want to take too much risk here either. I'll try and pick up this camp here instead. Guys, get out, get out, get out, get out. Okay. Very good. We are at the same talents right now. No, no need to fight there. No need to fight there into the siege tank at all. There's like zero reason for that. Alright. So, the next set of skeletons should probably be available here very, very shortly. If you can split up, that would be huge, but I don't know if you want to take the risk. They are all going to be at the top, aren't they? Alright. Looks like my team has decided to just simply get out again. I don't know if they're gonna fight. No, it doesn't look like it. I'm gonna go back in. There we go. Once again, on purpose, bringing my HP down to as low as possible. Sadly, our Sergeant Hammer did just end up falling just outside of the mines. I don't really want to, you know, stay here too long either. I'm kind of risky though. This is kind of scary. They're actually going off of after my allies right now. I'm gonna try and move over to them. Oh, like, look at me, not dealing any damage here. Snap, they're actually fighting. They're actually fighting. They're actually fighting. Getting out. Oh! No! Not the minion! Are you kidding me? Not the minion! The minion just literally shot at me right as I came out! Wow, the minion killed me! You can see that. That was gross. That was dirty. That was not what I had anticipated. This guy, I think, is what it was. So I'm invulnerable for the time being, right? But right as I got out of the mines, my Tazdingo wore off, which makes it a pretty terrifying setup for me. As, well, just 1 HP is not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. He says it's risky to stay at low life. Tazdingo is all I have to say to that. Alright, so the golems are rising. We still have got a solid amount. We still are gonna hit level 20 before them by about a good minute or so. But still, this is not game over yet. We should probably go ahead and group up together. They're gonna be pushing in the bottom lane. Very good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the Amani Resilience. Restores health when over. That sounds helpful. That sounds like something I could use, huh? Just for my limited experience using Tazdingo. Okay. We're dealing quite a lot though. The damage output is very noticeable. Hope that our right wing doesn't die there. Okay, good. By the way, 2 enemies are marked with my Q ability, which is nice. Dust to dust, as they say. Okay. 4 versus 5, level 20 versus level 19. If we want to make a push for it, we want to take engagements, this will be a good time for it. I think we may just want to simply try and grab the camp here, though. Just a few seconds. Oh. We all spammed abilities that do area of effect damage. None of them hit, because they officially hadn't spawned yet. Okay. As long as we grab these, that's really nice. Now, we don't really want to lose anyone, though. I'm not a big fan of splitting up at this point in the game. It's a little bit too risky for my liking. But this game could be over really quickly if we're not careful. Like 1 engagement and 1 solid one in the mines. And we should be in a good place here. Alright, let's go. Let's push with the pumpkins. Happy Halloween. Wait, no. That was months ago. He's doing it again. And actually, well, we were in a really good position here just now. Looks like we're gonna be forced back here, and 2 of my allies ended up falling. That's gonna be a full minute before they respawn. I don't even know if we can go ahead and go into the mines right now, to be honest with you. Whew, we were in a solid lead here, but it's gonna be a scary set of mines here, not gonna lie. You sure about this? Gotcha. No, we don't really need to worry about that. I did activate my Tazdingo a little bit too greedily there. You gotta keep in mind, it's not like... I keep thinking of it as like an invulnerability spell, but it's not. It's like, it's basically just a way for you to not go below 1 HP. So, while it was still active there at 1 HP as well, it still was a little bit unfortunate. That was a good bait, though. That was a good bait. Okay, this is starting to be quite an epic game, actually. I like these ones the most, where, you know, we both make mistakes. Oh, God. Oh, God. Nice! That's huge! That's huge! Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, I like these games the most, where, you know, I may be making some mistakes and I may not be showing my best gameplay, but it's, you know, it's showing some solid wins. Hopefully, what's gonna be a win, right? But it's gonna be a solid game nonetheless, even if we don't win. I'd rather show one where, you know, I'm making mistakes and I'm not playing perfect, opposed to one where we absolutely dominate the opposing team and it's just not close at all. I don't really know. Like, I'm not a big fan of, like, the super unfair ones, I suppose. Now, the enemy team apparently must be pretty upset with themselves, because they really haven't been into the mines all too much. We should probably consider pushing. Clean up these dudes real quick. Let me heal up. Just a few seconds. And if they're not, like, gonna group up together, this is fine for us. Now, our Brightwing is in the top lane. That's obviously very good, because she's gonna be able to teleport over here really quickly. And we're looking pretty solid here. We're looking pretty solid. Very nice. Very nice. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. We did lose our own keep as well, so that's unfortunate. I still have my Tazdingo here. But we can start pushing in the core here. Okay, good. Trying to do as much damage here as possible. Very nice. And it looks like, eventually, we're gonna be able to kill him! What a wild game! What a crazy game. That final push with the base race, with them dealing damage to our core as well, ended up being pretty much spot on. And I guess it is going to be our Sergeant Hammer that picks up the MVP. So Zul'jin, a very fun hero to play. I gotta be honest, like, if you enjoy the act of, like, balancing your HP and the amount of damage you can potentially deal, he is absolutely, like, an absolute blast to play. I really enjoyed that balancing act, and I gotta be honest, I'm definitely gonna be playing him a little bit more over the next couple of days. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button down below, and if you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. While you're at it, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Links are in the description. I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.